And I believe that people buy from people. Actually, it doesn't matter how good your pictures are if you're terrible with people. If you're not creating the bond and you're not, providing a valuable personal experience, I believe.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Virtual Coffee Break with Bublup. I'm your host, Wade Sellers, and today I've got a product and food photographer with us. I have Miss Fanette Rickert. Fanette, good morning to you.
Good morning, and thank you for your energy. Thank you for having me here. This is so much fun.
It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Someone told me about you through Bublup, and then I started looking at your content about food and product photography. You run a website called Frenchly, and if you could hear by the tone of her voice, she's got that French accent. She has Frenchly. She takes incredible food and product shots. You can check her out on Instagram. You can check out on her webpage. But not only that, Fanette also has a blog that talks about the business around a product and food photography business and kind of the ins and outs of as she's been going down the path. And I'd love to talk to you about this food and product photography business you have going on and maybe how Bublup fits into it. How's that sound?
That sounds great. That sounds great. Thank you so much.
There are so many verticals to take professional photos with and to work with clients and businesses with. You chose food. Why did you choose food? What was it about it that really brought you in?
So I actually didn't start with food. I started with products because I was working for a friend of mine as I was doing his social media and a bunch of stuff. And one day he said, well, you have a camera, right? I said, well, yeah. I said, do you want to take pictures of my products? I said, sure. I wasn't quite sure how that was going to go, but I like to try things. So I said yes. And I went home and I started watching some videos about how the heck I was going to do that because I had no idea how to shoot product pictures. I didn't have a kid back then, so I spent the night watching videos on YouTube and all that stuff. And I spent the next 2 weeks actually watching videos to make sure that I had it really dialed in. And I shot my first product pictures. They were not great, but he liked them. So he kind of said, well, that's your job now. You can do that on top of everything else. You can take pictures. So I did that for a little bit. And then I started taking some clients on the side because there's a lot of small businesses that need product photography. So, and then one day, one of the clients that I was working with said, I have a friend, she's a food blogger. She needs pictures of her cakes and cupcakes. And I said, well, I take pictures of products. Why not take pictures of cupcakes? How
like difficult? A product's a product, right?
Yeah. And oh my God, this was the revelation. I was like, wow, this is so cool. Because not only do I get to shoot food, I get to eat it too. That was awesome. They deliver me cake every week.
The byproduct is you get the food that you get to shoot too. And it really resonates with me. A couple things you said. A couple things is you have a camera. That was the barrier of entry. You had the gear, so shoot photos. And then the other thing you said was, I don't know how to do it. I just went to YouTube and I looked for it. I love that idea of like the creator's mentality of the information's out there. Just give me a moment to mess around. And then the third thing you said was my first photographs were not so good. I think we all, like as creators, we like cringe at our first versions of our things, but also they're like a really cool way to look at where you started from and where you get to, which is really cool to see the evolution of your mastery of your art. Did your first clients come to you, or did you start to reach out to clients and say, I shoot food, I'd love to shoot food for you?
So I was working for my friends and I was shooting his pictures, and I thought, I was only working 3 days a week for them. So I had two extra days, and I thought, what, if I'm shooting some stuff, I might as well get paid for it. So I did some research and I found that there was a couple of websites, like freelancing gigs, websites. And the first one that I tried was called Thumbtack.
Okay.
It's for locals. So I did make some connections with a lot of local businesses and restaurants. And so I used Thumbtack for quite a while. And then I kind of moved on because typically the people on Thumbtack have a smaller budget. And as I was growing my skills, I was charging a little bit more. So then I went to Upwork, which is kind of where it kind of took off. It's from Upwork, yeah.
Actually, I see.
What I really believe in is client experience, and wedding photographers know that very well. But for some reason, product photography and food photography photographers don't really have never thought of that too much. They don't offer a client experience. They just offer photos. So I actually studied what the wedding photographers are doing. I looked at what they're doing and how they deliver this amazing client experience. Of course, us, we don't always get to meet the client, but I think that you can still deliver an amazing client experience with like the emails you send, the brochures, the stuff like that, which none of the other product and food photographers were doing.
That's interesting. I never thought about the client experience behind this, but could you maybe divulge just a little bit of what you do?
Sure. So when I get contacted by a client in the first place, a potential client, I have like a pricing list with that details everything that I do, the steps, how long it takes. And it's like, because I used to be a graphic designer, I designed it to be very pretty. And so I usually send that to the clients that request my services. Nobody else does that. They just send an email saying, hey, this is my price. So that's the first thing that makes you look so much more professional than any other photographers they've contacted before that. And the whole journey with the clients I send them, everything is beautifully designed, everything is explained. I send them the information before they ask for it, so that, for me, it's super important that they feel like they're taken care of, exactly like a bride.
Cool.
Like, you need to make sure that they feel like they're taken care of, and they'll come back for more.
It's more than just photos. They're actually enjoying the experience. And when there's another product or something they need, you're the obvious solution, right? Because they enjoy working with you.
More often than not, they don't know much about photography. They don't know. There's a lot of things that they don't know that we do and we take for granted. And explaining it to them and giving them that knowledge adds to the value and adds to the client experience, because they're not left wondering. They know because I teach them, I educate them.
A lot of times too, in a competitive, which is most services now, there's a niche. How many people shoot photography and how many people shoot food photography? It's not just about the deliverable or the product or the photo. It is about that relationship, that connection. And that's what's going to bring that word of mouth. So they tell their buddy who also has a restaurant or needs food photography, and they're saying, I have someone for you. You need to work with her.
And I believe that people buy from people. Actually, it doesn't matter how good your pictures are if you're terrible with people. If you're not creating the bond and you're not, providing a valuable personal experience, I believe.
I'd love to know, how does Bublup fit into your sphere here? How does this fit in?
Oh, so many ways. I love Bublup. I discovered it, I don't even remember when, but as soon as I discovered it, I was like, yes, finally, I was looking for this. As a photographer, I'm always gathering inspiration. So I used to gather inspiration on Pinterest, and then I would have screenshots, and then I would have some things that I save on Instagram. But then when I needed to get it all together, then I would need to go in 3 different places. I love that now I can have one folder with all my inspiration. And actually, it's more than that. It's one folder that is divided into many different folders, so that I can have inspiration for bread, inspiration for, drinks, for cosmetics, for that sort of thing. So it's really valuable for me to be able to have all my inspiration in one place, but organized. I love organizing. And all my screenshots, they used to live on my phone. It was driving me crazy, because you're looking for an actual picture of your kid or whatever, and you have to scroll through 200 screenshots. It's ridiculous. So now I take the screenshots, and then I put them in Bublup directly, so they don't have to be living on my phone. I also use it for my teams, because I have a couple of people that work with me that help me with writing the blog and managing my Instagram. So when I find inspirations for blog posts or for Instagram captions or Instagram stories, I put them directly in Bublup, and then they have access to it, and they can go. And then sometimes I refer to it, and sometimes I just can go and find inspiration in there.
I love that.
So don't give up, because it's not an overnight success. It takes a while, and you're going to start small, but it's okay. Everybody did. If you look at the big food photographers and you scroll down their Instagram, you will see that they started small as well. And just don't give up. There's a lot of information out there readily available for you to dive in. just get into it but mostly just have fun because it's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be, if you create your own company, it's supposed to be fun. So have fun, keep going. And then I love Instagram because of the community. So have a look at what's going on Instagram. There's a lot of community hashtags, and you can create some really nice networking and relationships, and just have fun and keep going.
Do you have anything coming up? What's next for you? You're crushing the game. Where does it go from here?
So I just recently started a group coaching program. I'm actually helping other food and product photographers grow their business.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was really fun. I did my first program was in June, and it was awesome. It was a bunch of the followers that have been with me for a long time. But yeah, my next step is teaching. I just really enjoy sharing what I found out and all that stuff. So it's really fun.
Fanette, if anyone has any questions on creating their product photography business or how to shoot, where can they find you? Maybe even they're curious about the program you just brought up. Where could someone reach out to you?
So I'm hanging out a lot on Instagram. My handle is Frenchly Photography.
Cool.
Or if you want to read the blog post, my website is french.ly, and that's where all the blog posts live. And yeah, I'm either here or there.
I love it.
Back there shooting.
Or back there working.
That's right.
I love it. Well, Fanette, this was wonderful. Thank you so much for taking a moment out of your morning to talk to us. It's really valuable, and I love seeing what you're doing. I hope that we can continue to talk again, and maybe we can get you on the show and have a little follow-up interview.
Well, that'd be really fun. Thank you so much for having me. It was fun.
Awesome. Take care, Fanette.
Thank you. Have a good day.